So the third para of the invalid story. The fact is that without my suspecting it, a prodigious mistake had been made. Without my suspecting it, prodigious, a huge mistake, a tremendous mistake had been made without the knowledge of the narrator during the time of the train journey. Even though he was unaware of this during the railway journey, he informs it to his readers beforehand. He informs the readers that something went wrong during the 200-mile railway journey which he undertook one winter's night, which again caused a decline in his health. So, why was he traveling traveling 200-mile one winter's night? In order to fulfill the last wishes of his friend John B. Hackett, who died a day before. The last wish of his friend was to take the corpse to his father, Deacon Levi Hackett, at Wisconsin, Bethlehem. So, in order to fulfill this wish of his childhood friend, John B. Hackett, narrator, took a 200-mile railway journey. And once he reached the railway station, he located the white pine box containing the corpse of John B. Hackett, which was described to him, and he tagged the address card addressed to his father on top of the white pine box, after which he rushed to get some food, cigars and food. Yes, so after locating the white pine box matching the description he has received of Hackett's coffin, he tags it with the Wisconsin address, and he loads the corpse inside the express car. Then he runs off to purchase some food and cigars, and when he returns, he sees a man, a young fellow. No other description of the young fellow is given. He is just referred to as a young fellow. And what was he doing? He was standing beside the white pine box and tagging an address card addressed to Peoria, Illinois. So the narrator was shocked to see his white pine box, which he loaded onto the express car, back on the platform, and a young man is standing nearby that, carrying an address card addressed to Peoria, Illinois. So he rushes to the man and learns that this was a different box, another box which looked like the white pine box of John B. Hackett. So, at this point, the narrator, discloses what happened actually to the readers. He notes that the boxes have been wrongly identified. Okay, the boxes have been wrongly identified. അതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. I was carrying off. What was the prodigious mistake that happened? I was carrying off a box of guns which the young fellow had come to the station to ship to a rifle company in Peoria, Illinois, and he had got my corpse. This was the prodigious mistake that happened, which the narrator was unaware during the time of the train journey. That is the one containing, the box containing Hackett or Hackett's corpse was taken by the young fellow, and the narrator has already loaded a box of guns which is to be shipped to Illinois, thinking that it is Hackett's corpse. He was actually transporting a box containing rifles, which was to be taken to Peoria, Illinois by the young fellow. Okay, moving on. Just then, the conductor sung out all about, and I jumped into the express car and got a comfortable seat on a bale of buckets. So, bale of buckets. Bale means a bundle. See, this is the express car is meant to transport goods for a safer and swift transportation of goods. This was the means. Express cars. So, there was a bale, a bundle of buckets, and on top of it, the narrator sat and made himself comfortable. When the conductor, okay, when the man in charge of informing that the train is going to start, okay, the train is moving. And as the conductor, he sung out all about. He asked all the passengers to get inside, and the narrator also went inside the car, got inside the car. The expressman was there, hard at work, a plain man of 50 with a simple, honest, good natured face and a breezy, practical artiness in his general style. So, inside the car, the expressman, a man hired by the company, the express train company, to uh, to take care of the goods. Okay, that is the expressman. He was there. And how or what kind of a man was he? He was a man of 50, a very dutiful man, and with a simple, honest, good natured face, a very pleasant looking, enthusiastic, energetic man, a happy fellow, a cheerful and jovial man. You can mark the description of the express man, who is named Thompson, whom the narrator introduces to the readers later on as Thompson. He was a good natured, honest, and breezy, practical man. As the train moved off, a stranger skipped into the car and set a package of peculiarly mature and capable Limburger cheese on one end of my coffin box. I mean, my box of guns. Okay, so the narrator settles himself into the express car, and as the car moved, a stranger quickly gets inside the car, darts in, and places a parcel, a package on top of the pine box. Pine box, which was actually box of guns, which the narrator thought was his friend's corpse. And Limburger cheese, what was the peculiarity of this Limburger cheese? It was mature and again capable Limburger cheese. Limburger cheese is popularly known for the odor or its intense smell. Okay, so this stranger just got inside the car, placed the package, and left. That is to say, I know now that it was Limburger cheese, but at that time I never had heard of the article. Article, the thing. Thing here is the Limburger cheese in my life, and of course was wholly ignorant of its character. Character, the feature, the smell here, the smell of the Limburger cheese. So, once again, here the narrator informs his readers that he didn't know at the time of the train journey that the package contained Limburger cheese, a mature Limburger cheese, but now he knew that and he informs it to his readers. Again, over to the text. Well, we sped through the wild night. Moved the train, moved through the wild dark night. The bitter storm raged on. Okay, the storm, the snowstorm. It was a winter's night and intensified. The snowstorm got intense, hard to bear. A cheerless misery stole over me. A cheerless. The narrator was rather sad. He was not happy. He was distressed and worried. because one he is carrying, or the main reason is that he is carrying the corpse of his bosom friend, or he has departed. So this is the reason for the cheerless misery in the narrator stole over me. My heart went down, down, down. So he was grieved and depressed, because he has lost his bosom friend, and also he has discharged the duty of carrying his last wishes onto the narrator. Okay, the old expressman made a brisk, a very happy act of remark or two about the tempest and the Arctic weather. So this is how he learned that the expressman was a plain man, and the practical heartiness of the man through the conversation, and also by observing the expressman, he learned that he is a very practical, dutiful, good natured man. So he made certain comments about the weather, the climate, slammed his sliding doors to, slammed, shut, closed the sliding doors of the express car and bolted them. So it is cold winter outside, and in order to protect, to ensure the comfort and the safety of the goods and also the passengers, the expressman closed or the windows tight, and then went bustling around. He hummed. He is so happy a man, and full of activity, bustling, very active, here and there and yonder, setting things to rights. So putting things right, organizing things, organizing the goods inside the car, or making the people comfortable, doing his duty in a very honest way, and contentedly, satisfactorily humming sweet by and by in a low tone and flatting a good chill. So again he was singing or humming a song, sweet by and by, as he worked. Okay, now presently, I began to detect a most evil and searching odor stealing about on the frozen air. A very penetrating stench, a stinking smell, is emanating or spreading inside the express car, inside the cabin or the compartment, which the narrator detected first. So he began to feel uneasy because of a evil, very hard to bear, a smell. Odor means a smell, searching, an intense stench came out or spread throughout the inside of the express car. This made the narrator uneasy. Okay, searching order stealing about on the frozen car. Again, the express car, like the express car has very എന്താണ്, few ventilators, because it is meant to carry goods, not passengers. And uh, Thomson again has shut the windows, doors, uh, to ensure warmth inside the express car. It is poorly ventilated. Okay, the express cars are poorly ventilated, and Thomson has shut the windows, and so there is no air passage or little air inside the express car. So the smell started to intensify. Over to the text. The sex depressed my spirit still more, because of course I attributed it to my poor departed friend. So the narrator thought that the smell is emanating from the corpse, the rotting corpse of his friend John B. Hackett. This depressed the narrator, because if people find out that it is from the rotting corpse, it would be uh, it would cause damage to the image of his friend. Okay, so he felt depressed and uneasy. There was something infinitely saddening about his calling himself to my remembrance in this dumb, pathetic way, so it was hard to keep the tears back. He was so grieved to learn that John B. Hackett remembered the narrator during his last days and entrusted him to take his remains, okay, takes his corpse to his father. So this again made him uh, sad, made the narrator sad. Moreover, it distressed me on account of the old expressman who I was afraid might notice it. Again, the narrator felt uneasy because of the expressman. He feared that the expressman might notice the smell uh, and attribute it to the white pine box carrying Hackett's corpse inside. However, he went humming tranquilly on. So, to the comfort of the narrator, he observed that the expressman was happy. He went on tranquilly, peacefully, in a very pleasant manner, and he was humming the song Sweet By and By and gave no sign. There was no sign that he noticed the smell. Okay, he felt the smell, he gave no sign, and for this I was grateful. So the narrator is now happy, he was now cheered when he learned that the expressman or has not noticed the smell or felt the smell. However, he went humming tranquilly on and gave no sign of the smell. For this I was grateful. Grateful, yes, but still uneasy. And soon I began to feel more and more uneasy every minute. For every minute that went by, that odor or the smell thickened up the more and got to be more and more gamey and hard to stand. Gamey, a strong odor of wild animals, wild dead animals, the intense smell or odor, the unbearable smell that comes out of wild dead animals. So, even though he was grateful to know that the expressman has not noticed or not felt the smell, he was not at home or he was not comfortable. Why? Because as the room or the compartment, the cabin started to get warm, the smell got intense or got thickened, which made the narrator uneasy every minute. Every minute that went by, the odor thickened up more and more, and it was pretty unable to stay put, pretty unable to stand the smell, more gamey and hard to stand, difficult to stay inside the compartment because the smell started to sting or to intensify. Presently, having got things arranged to his satisfaction, okay, so organizing the goods, uh, arranging the goods to his satisfaction, the expressman got some wood and made up a tremendous fire in his stove. So, as the car warms, the smell intensifies, and after putting things in order, putting the goods in order, the expressman lights a fire in the stove, causing or increasing the uneasiness in the narrator. So the expressman, he lights a fire in the stove, and this increased the uneasiness in the narrator. Why? This distressed me more than I can tell. for I could not but feel that it was a mistake. So the narrator now learned that, yes, the expressman has done a huge, a tremendous mistake by lighting the fire in the stove, which would uh, make the cabin warmer and intensify the stench, intensify the smell. I was sure that the effect would be deleterious upon my poor departed friend, gone, dead friend here, John B. Hackett. Deleterious, causing harm or damage to the body of his friend John B. Hackett. As it is getting warmer, yes, the stench will get hard to bear. So, when the narrator learnt this, he became more and more uneasy. And Thompson, he names or he introduces the express man as Thompson. The express man's name was Thompson, as I found out in the course of the night. So throughout or through the course of the journey, he found out that the name of the express man was Thompson, and now went poking around his car, stopping up whatever stray hacks he could find, remarking that it didn't make any difference what kind of night was outside. He calculated to make us comfortable anyway. So Thompson, as told earlier, was a very honest and dutiful man, and in order to ensure the safe travel or the safe transport of goods and also the safety of the co-passengers, he started to poke around the car and close all the cracks he found in order to put the or in order to keep the weather outside against the cold weather outside and make the people around comfortable. He started to close all the pores or the minute holes or pores inside the express car. I said nothing what to say, but I believed he was not choosing the right way. So he assumed, he knew that this was not the right thing to do. Meantime, he was humming to himself just as before. Okay, so Thompson even now didn't get the smell uh, of the rotting corpse which the author uh, believed. Okay, so uh, he was humming to himself as before, a very happy man. And meantime too, the stove was getting hotter and hotter and the place closer and closer. I felt myself growing pale and qualmish uneasiness, a sense of omitting, uneasiness and pale. He grew pale. He lost all his comfort, all his health. Okay, growing pale and qualmish because of the smell and because of the fright. Because he is alarmed that Thompson will learn that it is from his friend's corpse. The place closer and closer. I felt myself growing pale and qualmish, but grieved in silence and said nothing. He said nothing. He grieved in silence. Soon I noticed that the sweet by and by was gradually fading out. Now he noticed that Thompson has gradually stopped singing sweet by and by, meaning Thompson too started to feel the malodors, feel the smell of the corpse. Next it ceased altogether. So he totally stopped humming or singing, ceased, stopped altogether, and there was an ominous stillness. An ominous, an unwelcome, unhealthy stillness, silence spread throughout the or inside the cabin. Okay, we'll stop here then.